Land. Thank you for joining us tonight. Hello to Miss Boom Boom Garden out there, introducing peaceful protester Ray Kelley. Yeah.
Thank you, Ethan Hyatt. Hello, and welcome to my TV show on the YouTube network with a potential audience of over 2 billion people.
2 billion people.
Coming to you live from the 3rd Street Promenade in Santa Monica, where I am peacefully protesting and advocating for the homeless here in Santa Monica and in Los Angeles County and in California and the whole US of A, the whole wide world if we could do something about it. But we have to start somewhere, so we might as well start right here in this very wealthy city of Santa Monica, in this 4th largest economy of the whole wide world, California, in this richest, most powerful country in the world, the USA. That's right, we need to stand up for the rights of human beings. That's right. We need to stand up for the rights of human beings to be able to survive and thrive in this richest, most powerful country in the world. There's no reason for poor people to be sleeping in the streets while rich people are having space races. We can do better than that. We don't have to wait. Here in California, we don't have to wait for Trump to be out of office before we can raise taxes on the rich. 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 Oh, I know it's a simple song, but it's a good one, and one that we need to teach our leaders right here in California. We need to make sure that everybody running for office gets behind the Billionaire Tax Act of 2026. 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 That's right, it's a 5% wealth tax here in California on the billionaires in California. That's right, that would be a 5% wealth tax on every billionaire in California. And we have the most billionaires of any state in the whole country. And we have the most homeless people of any state in the whole country. That's a shame. There's no reason for that. There's no reason for so few people to have so much, while so many have nothing at all. We can raise taxes on the rich, raise taxes on the rich. Right here in California, we can do it. Billionaire Tax Act of 2026. Billionaire Tax Act of 2026. This 5% wealth tax on the billionaires of California would raise hundreds of millions of dollars to make sure that every Californian can have good quality health care and a good public education and enough food to eat. We can do these things with this Billionaire Tax Act. That's what it's for. And you know, I watched the gubernatorial debate the other night, the governor's race debate, and I didn't hear one of those people really strongly standing up for the Billionaire Tax Act of 2026. Tom Steyer said he would raise taxes on the billionaires because he's a billionaire, but he didn't say, I'm getting behind the Billionaire Tax Act of 2026. And there are no other proposed billionaire taxes out there on the ballot this year. So unless you want to just let it stay the way it is, keep the status quo, as they say, Unless you want to just keep the status quo for the billionaires here in California, we need to get behind the Billionaire Tax Act of 2026. Billionaire Tax Act of 2026. Billionaire Tax Act of 2026. That's right. You got to tell your leaders. Everybody who's running for office this year needs to stand up and say, I endorse the Billionaire Tax Act of 2026. If you don't get behind the Billionaire Tax Act, then you don't get our vote. You don't get my vote, and we need everybody to say, you're not going to get my vote if you don't get behind the Billionaire Tax Act. We need to stand up for the rights of poor people and those that are doing without, those that are homeless, those that are being arrested for being poor and homeless. We're arresting people right here in Santa Monica for being homeless and poor. Last year in Santa Monica, the arrest rates went up by 23%. We want to clean up the streets, is what they were saying. But who did they arrest? They arrested homeless human beings 72% of the time this last year in Santa Monica. 72% of all of the arrests were of homeless human beings. Homeless people make up less than 1% of the population here in Santa Monica. And they were arrested 72% of all arrests. Now, I've been trying to find out exactly what these homeless people were arrested for. Many of them for minor infractions. Some of them for pitching a tent. Some of them for smoking on the streets or having an open container. I had a friend who was arrested for loitering in one of these public parking lots a few weeks ago. That's right, right over here, parking structure number 4. He used to go down if it was cold, and there weren't, usually at night, when there aren't any cars down in that lower section down there, and they arrested him and processed him, and he was supposed to go to court yesterday. Parking structure number 4, yeah. And, he was supposed to go to court about that yesterday, and he didn't go. And a lot of these homeless people, they don't go to their court trials because they're misdemeanors, and they figure, what am I going to do? I can't pay the thing. They're not going to overturn it. So they're just going to be further in debt, and they're still going to be homeless. They're not going to help these people by giving them citations and arresting them. Some people think, well, if you put them in jail, at least they have a place to sleep. No, that's inhumane. That's cruel. You don't process people, arrest people and process them for being poor and homeless. As a matter of fact, I am homeless, but I have people I can stay with. I have a lot of rich friends, but I am homeless and I am registered. My address is here in Santa Monica, and that's why I ran for Santa Monica City Council in 2024. And that's why I'm going to run for Santa Monica City Council again this year, to show that poor people can get involved in democracy. Thank you. And the main reason, thank you, peace, bless you. The main reason that I am going to run again is to promote the Great Park and Community Housing Initiative right here in Santa Monica. The Great Park and Community Housing Initiative, let me get it. The Great Park and Community Housing Initiative is coming to Santa Monica this year. Oh, the Great Park and Community Housing Initiative is something everybody in Santa Monica should hear about. Oh, the Great Park and Community Housing Initiative is going to be on the ballot this fall. Oh, the Great Park and Community Housing Initiative should get a yes vote from us all. That's right. Vote for it because they're going to build 3,000 units of affordable housing on 25% of that Santa Monica Airport property. That's what that initiative is about. Using 44 acres of land to build 3,000 units of housing. That'd be fantastic. Santa Monica, you're going to have the airport property turned over to you in 2028. That's 192 acres of land. How often will a city get 192 acres of land handed over to it? So we need to make sure that we use some of that land for affordable housing. Use some of that land to house some of our first responders, some of the teachers and nurses and workers in this city that can't afford to live in this city. That's right, 3,000 units of affordable housing. We need to stand up for the rights of those people to have a decent place to live. And you're still going to have 148 acres of land for a great park. So we need to get behind that great park and community housing initiative. And if you are a registered voter here in Santa Monica and you would like to sign the petition for the Great Park and Community Housing Initiative, I have a petition right here, and you can put your signature on that and help us get it on the ballot this fall. Oh, the Great Park and Community Housing Initiative is coming to Santa Monica this year. Oh, the Great Park and Community Housing Initiative is something all Santa Monica should hear about. Oh, that Great Park and Community Housing Initiative is going to be on the ballot this fall. Oh, the Great Park and Community Housing Initiative deserves a yes vote from us all. That's right. And if you are registered voters here in Santa Monica, please sign this petition for the Great Park and Community Housing Initiative if you haven't already signed up for it. Signed it to get on the ballot. Oh, the Great Park and Community Housing Initiative is coming to the ballot this year. Oh, the Great Park and Community Housing Initiative is something every Santa Monican should hear about. Oh, the Great Park and Community Housing Initiative is coming to the Santa Monica ballot this fall. Oh, the Great Park and Community Housing Initiative should get a yes vote from us all. That's right, and if you're a Santa Monica voter and you haven't signed the petition for the Great Park and Community Housing Initiative, I have it right here, if you'd like to take a minute of time. Oh, the Great Park and Community Housing Initiative is coming to Santa Monica this year. Oh, the Great Park and Community Housing Initiative is something everybody should hear about. Oh, the Great Park and Community Housing Initiative is coming to the ballot in Santa Monica this fall. Oh, the Great Park and Community Housing Initiative deserves a yes vote from us all. I'm going to try this a few times. It's a new song, you know what I mean? So I got to keep working on the lyrics. The basic gist of the lyrics is that this fall, we're trying to get on the ballot the Great Park and Community Housing Initiative and make sure that it passes so we build 3,000 units of affordable housing on that airport property and still have 148 acres for a great park. Come on, 148 acres. That's plenty big. It's plenty big for a great park, isn't it? The Great Park and Community Housing Initiative is coming to Santa Monica this year. Oh, the Great Park and Community Housing Initiative is something everybody in Santa Monica should hear about. The Great Park and Community Housing Initiative is going to be on the ballot this fall. Oh, the Great Park and Community Housing Initiative should get a yes vote from us all here in Santa Monica. That's right, all you Santa Monica voters. Oh, the Great Park and Community Housing Initiative is coming to the ballot this fall in Santa Monica. Oh, the Great Park and Community Housing Initiative should get a yes vote from us all here in Santa Monica. The Great Park and Community Housing Initiative will be on the ballot this fall here in Santa Monica. Oh, the Great Park and Community Housing Initiative should get a yes vote from us all. That ain't too much to ask. It's just a step in the right direction. You know, it's not the answer to everything. It's only 3,000 units of housing. But that's a huge step in the right direction because Santa Monica has been shirking its responsibility for generations. For generations, Santa Monica has not built enough affordable housing, and it's pushed all the poor people down the road. And when you push all the poor people down the road, you push a lot of people of color down the road because that's just the way it works in this country. That's why we're right next to 800 miles of public beaches here in California, and mostly rich white people live next to those public beaches because the rich people have pushed all the poor people down the road and made a nice profit off of our public beaches and kept their property values up. You know, so many of these communities, they say, we want to build affordable housing, but we got to keep our property values up. We want to help the poor, but we want to help them somewhere else because we got to keep our property values up. That's what they've been saying here in Santa Monica for generations. Generations. And we need to change that. We need to stand up for the rights of human beings to exist because now they are criminalizing poverty and homelessness. Oh, it's not new. This isn't anything new. That's what they used to do back before the 60s, back before the civil rights movement. We got rid of vagrancy in this country in the 70s. But after Prop 13 here in California, they made it harder and harder for poor people to own any property or to rent. They just made it harder for poor people to survive in California. And we need to stand up for the rights of poor people to be able to survive. And we have to keep integrating our society. We don't want to promote segregation here in California. You don't want to be like that. We want to promote integrating our society. So you're going to need to build affordable housing in some of these rich neighborhoods, like rich cities like Santa Monica. And when you shirk your responsibility about building affordable housing, you are pushing poor people out of your community and you are making more segregation. That's not where we're moving towards here in California. We don't want to be like the South was. Excuse me? You don't really believe that, do you? I hope you're not speaking about, I hope you're not spreading racism and hatred. I hope that's not something you want to do. I know young guys come by here and they say things just to get my goat. They just want to get me riled up and say things like segregation and peace and love. That's what I say, peace and love to you guys. I hope you learn that standing up for integrating our society and human rights and standing up against racism and hatred, whenever you hear it, whenever you see it, that's the right thing to do. I know a lot of people want to make fun of me just because I'm out here talking on the streets. And that's okay, I can take it. But I hope more people get out on this public promenade. Let me remind you, this 3rd Street Promenade is a public promenade. This 3rd Street Promenade does not belong to these businesses alongside the promenade. This is a public promenade, and I hope you all get out here and share your First Amendment rights, exercise your First Amendment rights right here on this public promenade. Get out here and share your political beliefs, your religious beliefs, whatever beliefs you got. Share your talents, that's fine. If you're selling something, that's a different story. But if you're just speaking out and taking donations for the homeless, as I am doing, I hope you all get out here and peacefully protest and share your beliefs. Because the First Amendment of our Constitution says, Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press, or of the right of people peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. And that's what I'm doing here tonight. I am peacefully protesting and standing up for the rights of human beings to be able to survive in this richest, most powerful country in the world. I'm telling our leaders, you got to do a better job. Hey, you guys, you city council here in Santa Monica, you got to do a better job. You got to make it easier to build affordable housing. And not just by endorsing the Great Park and Community Housing Initiative. I hope you do that, and I will be going to the city council meeting to tell the city council that they need to endorse the Great Park and Community Housing Initiative to build 3,000 units of affordable housing on the Santa Monica Airport property when it is given to the city. They need to get behind that, but they also need to stop criminalizing homelessness. You got to show that you're different than Trump. You got to show that you're different than Trump's ultra-conservative Supreme Court, who in 2024 made the ruling on Grants Pass versus Johnson. That's right, in 2024, Trump's ultra-conservative Supreme Court, egged on by our Governor Newsom, that's right, he signed a friend of the court brief for the Supreme Court. He said, I need more power to criminalize homelessness so I can clean up our streets. That's what Governor Newsom did. Instead of building affordable housing, he sided with Trump's ultra-conservative Supreme Court. And that Supreme Court then ruled in the summer of 2024 that cities and states and agencies could criminalize homelessness. Before that, for many years, if you didn't have enough shelter beds, you couldn't keep poor people from sleeping on the streets if you didn't have enough shelter beds in your city. But now you can criminalize homelessness and send people to jail for being poor and homeless, and that's a shame. Santa Monica, you need to stand up against such things as that. You need to say, no, we're not going to go with Trump's ultra-conservative Supreme Court here in Santa Monica. We're not going to criminalize poverty. We're not going to criminalize homelessness. You need to do that, Santa Monica City Council. Watch it. You almost hit somebody. You need to call the police on those people. They almost hit Ethan there. That's cruel. These people are riding their electric motorcycles here on the promenade and almost ran over somebody. And you're not supposed to be riding those on the promenade. Hey, you need to be, the police need to know about that.
They do know about it. They just come out here when they're out there. They know they're out there, and they just like to terrorize people. That's all they're doing. You can't stop it.
Anyway, we're going to have to crack down on the kids riding their electric motorcycle. They got their electric motorcycle gangs, and they're terrorizing the promenade sometimes. You know, a lot of people have been hurt because of those electric motorcycles, and they need to do a better job of policing them. Instead of arresting homeless people for being poor and homeless, you need to make sure that kids aren't hitting human beings on their electric motorcycles. There's a lot of problems, but we need to stand up for human rights. We don't need to stand up for the rich kids in their electric motorcycle gangs that are running over human beings. We need to stand up for poor people. How you doing, Matt? Good to see you.
See you too.
We need to stand up for poor human beings who need a decent place to live, food to eat, health care, and a good public education. And we need to get behind the Billionaire Tax Act of 2026 right here in Santa Monica. Right here in California. In Santa Monica, we need to get behind the Great Park and Community Housing Initiative that would build 3,000 units of affordable housing on that Santa Monica airport property. See the people living in the street, ain't got no money, ain't much to eat. They're not too proud to take your crust of bread. Just look for some place to lay their weary heads. That's all they're trying to do. Most of these homeless people just looking for a safe place to sleep at night. Sure, a few of them might take a toke off a joint now and again. A few of them might have a little drink now and again. But that's what everybody's doing out here. And we need to make it easier for human beings to survive, even when they're poor. What's the problem that brought them here? The story's long and it isn't very clear. So many roads lead to the street. You guys have a great night. Peace. Looking for somewhere to lay their tired feet. I ain't saying they ain't done wrong. I ain't saying didn't help to bring it on. I'm just saying there must be somewhere they belong, and they're looking for somewhere, looking for somewhere, looking for somewhere to lay their weary heads. All these homeless people living in a ditch with all these empty buildings and tax cuts for the rich. I ain't saying you have to give, but everybody has got a right to live, and they're just looking for somewhere, looking for somewhere, looking for somewhere to lay their weary heads. Sweep them out your doorway, tear down their tents. Gonna keep on coming if you keep on raising rents. I ain't saying you have to do good, but why don't you try letting homeless people move in to your neighborhood, Santa Monica? Looking for somewhere, looking for somewhere, looking for somewhere to lay their weary heads. That's right, Santa Monica, we can be part of the solution and not continue to be part of the problem, not continue to make it harder for homeless human beings to have a decent place to live, and pushing more and more people out into the streets. You know, low-income seniors are the largest growing demographic of homelessness, of the homeless population. Seniors, low-income seniors, that's right. And we need to make it easier for people to stay in the housing they have, but we need to build a lot more affordable housing at the same time. We need to tell people we can be part of the solution and not part of the problem. We can make sure that these people here in Santa Monica can have the basics. And that's, I was talking with a young man today. I was talking about getting signatures for the Great Park and Community Housing Initiative. I was talking about getting signatures for that, and he said, yeah, it's $1 million a unit, $1 million a unit to build affordable housing. And I said, do you have some solutions to help with that? I mean, we should be able to build things cheaper than $1 million a unit. But if not, we need to be building it anyway to make sure that we have more affordable housing for human beings in need. Because certainly when Santa Monica wants to find money for things that are important to Santa Monica, they find it. They find the millions of dollars. Instead of having secure public restrooms open overnight, they find money to clean up after people. They found $1 million in their budget. We just happen to find $1 million so we can clean up after people urinating and defecating. But we're not going to keep any secure public restrooms open all night for these homeless human beings. They just want to make it harder and harder for people to survive. That's why we need to speak up. We need to stand up for the rights of human beings and tell these people, instead of criminalizing homelessness, we need to be building housing and making a difference in people's lives, helping lift people out of poverty, showing that progressive government can make a difference in people's lives. All these homeless people living in a ditch with all these empty buildings and tax cuts for the rich. I ain't saying you have to give, but everybody has got a right to live. Looking for somewhere to lay their weary heads. One more time with this verse, here we go. You can sweep them out your doorway, tear down their tents. Gonna keep on coming if you keep on raising rents. I ain't saying you have to do good, or why don't you try letting homeless people move in to your neighborhood, Santa Monica? Looking for somewhere to lay their weary heads. Don't need your swimming pool, don't need your king-size bed. Just looking for somewhere to lay their weary heads. That's right. They're just looking for somewhere to lay their weary heads, and we could help them. We could make sure that everybody who needs a place to live has one in this richest, most powerful country in the world. In this fourth largest economy of the world, California, in this very wealthy city of Santa Monica. We could help lift people out of poverty. We could help make sure that everybody can have the basics, instead of criminalizing poverty and homelessness. That's what really gets me. I mean, I understand that people want to price people out of a place to live, but when you criminalize poverty on top of that, when you make it the fault of the people that you are making life harder on, when you criminalize somebody for trying to survive in a market where you are taking away all the options for low-income housing, when you criminalize somebody for just trying to survive, then that is a shame. That is inhumane. That is cruel and inhumane. And we have way too many of our leaders blaming the poor for being poor and the homeless for being homeless. And we need to speak up against such cruelty. We need to tell people right here in Santa Monica. We need to tell the city council right here in Santa Monica, if you're not going to build affordable housing, don't criminalize poverty. Don't criminalize homelessness. Too many of our leaders are saying, don't be poor and homeless. Don't be poor at all. We'll pull the chair beneath your seat, mock you when you fall. Thank you. I hope somebody's doing something about that, but it's not the first time. We know it happens every day here.
Hey, it's going to take someone to get really hurt seriously.
I mean, but they're having people hurt with these electric motorcycles all over the country, and they're talking about things that they're going to have to do. But I mean, come on. The police in Santa Monica, instead of arresting homeless people, could be making sure that the promenade is safe and walkable.
That's what's going to happen.
Yeah. Let's hope nobody really gets hurt bad. But anyway, you guys have a good night. Peace. Yeah, we have too many of our leaders, instead of fixing problems and making it better for human beings, they would rather blame the poor for being poor and the homeless for being homeless, and let the rich kids drive up and down on their electric motorcycles and run into people and harass people. We need to stand up for the rights of some poor human beings too. I know the rich kids want to have their electric motorcycle gangs. That's nice. But listen, they don't have to ride up and down this public promenade and almost hit human beings. Instead of focusing on harassing homeless human beings here in Santa Monica, a little more activity towards standing up for people to be able to walk on the promenade without being harassed by electric motorcycle gang. Beep, beep, beep. No, whoa. I just want the kids to, I just want everybody to have a little more respect for human life, for human beings. Instead of blaming the poor for being poor and the homeless for being homeless, we need to stand up for their rights. Too many of our leaders are saying, don't be poor and homeless. Don't be poor at all. We'll pull the chair beneath your seat and mock you when you fall. We'll tell you that you're crazy and you're on the drugs. We'll say you're mostly lazy and you're filled with bugs. So don't be poor and homeless. Don't be poor and homeless. Hey, did you guys see that motorcycle gang, that electric motorcycle gang coming through here? You got to keep an eye out for them. They're gonna run over all of us, I tell you. And they're tough too. Those young electric motorcycle gangs. Don't be poor and homeless. Don't be poor and sick. They'll put you in the hospital and spit you out real quick. They'll say you need to rest more and change the way you eat. But they ain't got no medicine to get you off of the streets. So don't be poor and homeless, that's what they say. Don't be poor and homeless. Don't be poor and homeless. Just live in a mansion. Yeah, that's what we gotta do. Don't be poor and homeless. Don't live in your car. Oh, wait, let's go to the bridge. Let's bridge it up. The rich folks want to help you if they could. So they'll take your tent and your bags and stuff and move them to another neighborhood. A little farther. A little farther. A little farther down the road would be good. Don't. That's how they used to do it. They used to push them down the road. Now they take all their stuff and they say, here's a 60-gallon bag. That's what they do. Well, hello, Neha and Clark. Good to see you. Hey, have you already signed the petition for the Great Park and Community Housing Initiative?
I don't know.
All right, let's
I
get
feel
the.
like you signed everything you.
This is new.
Oh, it's a new one. Okay. Yeah.
This is
Are
for
you still-
this is for the ballot this fall. I'm going to run. I will get the petition for my city council run in July, not
All right.
until July.
This
But this
time,
is for.
If you have a yard sign, you need to get one. We have an apartment.
You know,
like
I'm gonna have people take picture of some sign and just share their pictures on social media or whatever.
Well, we actually have an apartment on a pretty high foot traffic area that a lot of tourists
Oh, okay.
walk by. So
I'll try that. Anyway, this is for the Great Park and Community Housing Initiative, a proposal to use 25% of the airport property that will be given to the city in 2028.
I'll fill your name out too. Just have to sign.
25% of that for 3,000 units of housing, leaving 148 acres of land for a great park.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Doesn't that sound good?
Yeah.
We need more housing here.
Yeah, we've got some hyper nieces and nephews who could use the space to run around.
That's plenty of space for 148 acres. And then we would build 3,000 units of affordable housing for a lot of people that work in Santa Monica that cannot afford to live in Santa Monica. You must know people who work in Santa Monica who can't afford to live here.
We do.
A lot.
And we need to stand up for their rights.
Yeah.
So you got both of you on there?
Yeah, we
Both
got
of you,
both
yeah.
of us.
Thank you very much.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate
Where's
it.
the same
Thank you,
address?
Neha.
Yeah, thank you.
Keep
Great
fighting
to
the
see
good
you.
fight.
Why, thank you very much. Thank you, Neha and Clark. And when's the day?
A few years from now.
Okay, all right. Well, I'll keep an eye out for you then. That's right. So I'm collecting some signatures, and I've gotten quite a few. I hope the people behind the Great Park and Community Housing Initiative here in Santa Monica, I hope they're getting a lot of signatures, because we need to build 3,000 units of affordable housing right here in Santa Monica, and still have a great park of 148 acres. I'd say that's a pretty good sized great park, wouldn't you? 148 acres? Sure, it's plenty. And that way we might build some more affordable housing and stop blaming the poor for being poor so much. If we can build some more housing, we won't have so many homeless people, and we don't have to keep blaming them for being poor and homeless. If you really want to get homeless people off the street, you're going to build more affordable housing, because too many of our leaders are blaming them. They're saying, and they're making them put all of their possessions in a 60-gallon bag, right? A 60-gallon bag. They say, put all of your possessions in this 60-gallon bag. Anything more than that, we're going to put in a dumpster, because you don't deserve to have any more belongings than what fits in a 60-gallon bag, because you're poor and homeless. They just want to make it harder and harder on these people, and that's a shame. We need to stand up for human rights. Too many of our leaders are saying, don't be poor and homeless. Don't live in your car. They'll find a way to ticket you no matter where you are. They'll say you're near a schoolyard or near a city park. They'll make you move your car all day and give you tickets while you're sleeping in the dark. So don't be poor and homeless, that's what they say. Don't be poor and homeless. Don't be poor and homeless. Just live on a yacht. Gotta get a yacht. Oh, the rich folks wanna help you if they can. So they'll start a race to outer space to help their fellow man. We are going to build affordable housing up on Mars. Don't be poor and homeless. Don't be poor at all. They'll pull the chair beneath your seat and mock you when you fall. They'll tell you that you're crazy and you're on the drugs. They'll say you're mostly lazy and you're filled with all kinds of bugs. So don't be poor and homeless. Don't be poor and homeless. Don't be poor and homeless just to be rich. Don't be poor and homeless just to be rich. That's right, homeless people. Just be rich. That's right. All you homeless people need to get into the prediction market. That's what you need to do. You need to get some inside information and go bet on the prediction market, like some of these people that have been using inside information from the government, like this military person who was behind taking Maduro from Venezuela. He made a bet of $30,000 and got $400,000 because he knew that the military was going to go and take Maduro. We have too many people thinking about making a profit in this country and not enough people standing up for human rights. Not enough people standing up for the rights of human beings to have the basics. A decent place to live, food to eat, health care. What?
It's only one word going out of there, brother.
We need to keep standing up for human rights.
Brother, it's only one way to stand up for human rights, right? Get the original man his tongue back.
Hey, that's fine too, but building affordable housing right here. We need to build affordable housing, and we need to make sure that everybody has equal rights, equal justice, equal opportunity. We keep working towards equal rights, equal justice, equal opportunity for everybody.
For everything, correction for everything, you have to understand for what you're saying right now. Get the original man his tongue back.
I don't know what you mean by that.
How would you not? Where everything comes from this one, not from nobody else.
Okay.
Everything about you get from this one.
Okay.
That part.
Hello. You have a right to believe that in this country. We all have a right.
From a song that you write and you crap that you're about when it comes to this one. Not a Jamaican, not a Haitian. I don't give a nothing. From the lot to me, say I'm from an African. This one, African American. From the land where everything came from. From the lot to say that Egypt was way over there when it started what would it say? Grand Canyon? That's where the real pyramids at. The real pyramids at. That part. Catch up, mustard. You get everything from this source of the ones that created everything. They have a punch, a ball movement, a sport for me to lay the lead. Everything is created from this one. Not a Haitian, not a Jamaican, but from this one. The one they lied to everybody about.
And you have a right to that belief in this country, and that's beautiful.
That belief or how history is.
What?
How history is, or what your understanding for your belief. Yeah, you saw when you say that, that's what your understanding. History, sir.
Exactly.
You catch up, mustard.
All right.
History.
Peace. Peace.
Understand history.
Understand
history.
Peace. Say peace. Say peace,
Grand
man.
Canyon, that's where the real pyramids are at. Where Egypt is at. From the life of the
Yeah,
South.
no, it's not his
I was
fault.
here for the whole
It's not
time.
his fault.
Yeah, understanding for you to say that then.
All right. Have a good one. Peace. That's right. We keep working towards a better day. Keep working towards equal rights, equal justice, equal opportunity for all, housing the homeless, common sense gun laws. We need to stand, and it's not just about making a profit off of everything in this country. It's not just about, we shouldn't be just promoting making a profit off of everything, like Trump with his gold card visas. They say they sold over $1 billion of gold card visas, and then yesterday they said they only sold one so far. But still, he wants to sell people the right to come to this country if you're rich. That's what he wants to do. He wants to sell citizenship to rich people. That's what Trump wants to do. He says, get your gold card today, Step right into the USA. No need to stand in line. $5 million will do just fine. Forget you're tired, forget you're poor. Just send your rich through our front door. We don't care about human rights when making money is in our sights. Get your gold card today. Step right into the US of A. That's right. Trump wants to sell the rich people citizenship through his gold card visa. But he doesn't want poor people to have citizenship. Even those that have been here for generations. Even those that have been used for their labor for generations and not been given their rights. Not been given a pathway to citizenship. We need to stand up for their rights. We need to say, no, these people deserve a pathway to citizenship, because for generations, our farmers and our factory owners and other employers, they said to the authorities, look the other way, because I need more workers. I need more workers to work for this salary that I'm going to pay, because I don't want to pay these other people what they want. So let us have more workers come in from the country and don't see them coming in. And then when they get in here and they're doing the work, they take advantage of their labor, but they don't give them a pathway to citizenship. Now we need to be working towards a pathway to citizenship for these people so that we have a more vibrant democracy. If we have 5% of our population not involved in our democracy, that's a bad thing. That means the rich people are going to have more power, and they already have too much power, the rich people. So we need to make sure these 5% of our population find a pathway to citizenship so they can participate in our democracy. They can vote, and they can use their voices and run for office. So we need to tell our leaders, find a pathway to citizenship for these people that have been used for their labor for generations and not been given their rights. De la Sierra Moreno, cielito lindo, vienen bajando un par de ojitos negros, cielito lindo, de contrabando. Es el lunar que tiene cielito lindo junto a la boca. No se lo des a nadie, cielito lindo que a mí me toca. Ay, 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 ay. Canta y no llores, porque cantando se alegran, cielito lindo, los corazones. This land is your land. This land is my land, from California to the New York Islands, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. Let's make sure this land is made for you and me. Ay, 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 canta y no llores, porque cantando se alegran, cielito lindo, los corazones. This land is your land, this land is my land, from California to the New York Islands, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. Let's make sure this land was made for you and me. Now, there are some people who say, well, they need to come in. Huh?
Can I sing?
I don't. No, I'm singing some song. Do you know this one? Ay, 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 ay. Canta y no llores, porque cantando se alegran, cielito lindo, los corazones. This land is your land. Do you know that?
No.
This land is your land, this land is my land, from California to the New York Islands, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. Let's make sure this land is made for you and me. One more time. 1, 2, 3. This land is your land. This land is
My land,
from California to the New York City, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. Let's make sure this land is made for you and me.
Hey, thank you, bro.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Peace.
Hey, have a good night,
Spread
man.
the peace and love. That's right. And now there are some people who say, well, we want them to be citizens, but we want them to come in the right way. We have 20 million or so people that have been used for their labor and not been given their rights for generations. And some people say, well, they have to go back in the line. You know, here in the United States of America, we didn't give Native Americans the right to vote until 1924. And they stood in line. They were here before us. And it took till 1924 for our country to make sure that they had the right to vote. So we need to make sure that these people can integrate into our society and have a pathway to citizenship right here. And we need to tell our leaders to do that so we can have a more vibrant democracy. That's right. We need to have more workers and more poor people involved in our democracy. And if we get those 20 million people into citizenship in this country, we're going to have more poor people taking part in our democracy, so we won't have so much of an oligarchy, hopefully, at some point. We need to keep standing up for the rights of poor people to get involved in our democracy. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Islands, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. Let's make sure this land is made for you and me. Hi, canta y no llores, porque cantando se alegran, cielito lindo, los corazones. One more time, everybody sing. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Islands, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. Let's make sure this land is made for you and me. Let's make sure this land is made for you and me. Let's work to make sure this land is made for you and me. Woo! That's right. Let's stand up for everybody's rights and stand up for a pathway to citizenship for those people that have been used for their labor for generations and not been given their rights. We can keep working towards a better day for everybody in this country because we haven't gotten there yet. We haven't gotten to a place where we have equal rights, equal justice, equal opportunity. There's still way too many people that don't benefit from the opportunities others have, or the justice others have. Here in California, it is still 10 times more likely for a young black man to go to prison than a young white man. And that's the sad truth. And it is much more likely for a young Hispanic, Latino man to go to prison than a young white man. So we need to keep working at it. We need to keep working towards a better day for everybody. We need to keep speaking out for equal rights, equal justice, equal opportunity for all. And peacefully protesting. You people that are cheering on assassins, that's wrong, that's evil. You people that are cheering on violence, that's evil. You need to be shouted down, you need to be told. Here in this country, we're going to have a lot of different opinions about things. And that's fine. We can have different opinions about how the war should be going over in the Middle East or over in Ukraine or wherever in the world. We can all have a different opinion. And we can talk about those things without threats of violence. Nobody should be threatened with violence for their beliefs or their thoughts, their political beliefs, their religious beliefs, no matter what their beliefs may be. Even if you think I'm going to hell, you can say I'm going to hell, and you can believe it, but you can't send me there. You can't help send me there. You have a right to speak and share your beliefs, but nobody has a right to threaten people with violence. And if there's racism and hatred being spouted, shout it down. Speak loudly against it. But don't threaten people with violence. Don't commit violence for political means. That's not about the United States of America. I have to switch this, put this over here. It got a little windy. That's right, peacefully protest. Use your First Amendment rights to peacefully protest and share your beliefs, but don't threaten people with violence. That's not the way we do it. That's the way some people do it here in the United States, but that's not the way we're supposed to do it. And that's not what the First Amendment is about. The First Amendment is about standing up for the rights of everybody to express themselves without threat of violence. I'll say it again. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech, or of the press, or of the right of people peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. And that's what I'm doing here tonight, and that's what I hope you all do wherever you are. I hope more people get out and use this public promenade to speak their mind and share their beliefs and peacefully protest. That's right. It's about peace. It's about love. It's about the only thing my heart needs thinking of. It's about love. It's about peace. It's about a little bit of love and peace at least. Cause when the peace and love are gone, you know must be moving on. It's about peace. It's about love. It's about hope. It's about joy. It's about bring some home to your little girls and boys. It's about joy. It's about hope. It's about enough hope to keep them off the dope. Cause when the hope and the joy are gone, you know must be moving on. It's about joy. It's about hope. It's about you. It's about me. It's about you and me working towards equality. It's about me. It's about you. It's about saying Black Lives Matter too. Cause when you and me are gone, you know must be moving on. It's about you. It's about me. Se trata de paz, se trata de amor, se trata de paz y amor. Se trata de paz, se trata de amor, se trata de paz y amor. Se trata de paz y amor. Assalamu alaikum, alaikum, yay. Assalamu alaikum, alaikum, yay. Assalamu alaikum, alaikum, yay. Assalamu alaikum, alaikum, yay. Evenu shalom alechem. Evenu shalom alechem. Evenu shalom alechem. Evenu shalom, shalom, shalom alechem. It's about peace. It's about love. It's about the only thing my heart needs thinking of. It's about love. It's about peace. It's about Little bit of love and peace at least. Cause when the peace and love are gone, you know must be moving on. It's about peace, it's about love, love, love. Oh, it's all about love. Woo, woo. Thank you. How you doing tonight? Good to see you. Peace. That's right. We got to keep working towards peace and love, equal rights, equal justice, equal opportunity for all, and working towards a better day for everybody. Because we haven't gotten there yet. We need to make sure that homeless people can have a decent life, can have a decent place to live, food to eat, and health care. Instead of criminalizing poverty, we need to be standing up for the rights of people to survive. We need to say, hey, listen, we can do better here in Santa Monica. We can actually build some affordable housing. Hey, look at all these empty buildings all along this promenade and all around Santa Monica. We should be raising the taxes on vacant buildings so much, unless they should be building shelters for every kind of human being in all of these buildings. That'd be great. Go ahead, build the shelters in the empty buildings around Santa Monica until you get everybody housed. Then you can start making sure that businesses are making profits. But if you got poor people sleeping in the streets and being criminalized because of it, you're moving in the way wrong direction. And that's why we need to get behind the Great Park and Community Housing Initiative. Have you heard about it? The Great Park and Community Housing Initiative. Are you a registered Santa Monica voter? Okay. Well, I hope you get registered. Where do you live? Are you homeless?
Yeah.
Do you have an address with the people concerned in Santa Monica?
No.
Well, I do. That's where I have my address, and that's how I registered to vote here in Santa Monica, and that's how I ran for Santa Monica City Council in 2024, because I made my address over there at the people concerned on Olympic, because I'm homeless also, but I have friends that look out for me and I can stay with, and I'm sorry, but that's the way it is. I mean, I could be living in my car. I did live in my car for a year. And if I need to, I'll do that again. I'm on a list for low-income senior housing here in Santa Monica. I don't know how long that list is. Could be, somebody said, could be 3,000 seniors on that list. Could be more, I don't know. And I'm at the end of it, and that's fine by me. But that's how I registered to vote, because, homeless people need to have an address too. You need to give them some kind of address so they can collect mail and be able to have a driver's license and other things. So I hope all of my homeless friends in Santa Monica register to vote here in Santa Monica and vote for the Great Park and Community Housing Initiative. It's coming to Santa Monica this year. Oh, the Great Park and Community Housing Initiative is something everybody in Santa Monica should hear about. The Great Park and Community Housing Initiative is coming to the ballot this fall in Santa Monica. Oh, the Great Park and Community Housing Initiative should get a yes vote from us all in Santa Monica. That's right. It's a ballot measure that would use 25% of the Santa Monica airport property to build affordable housing. 3,000 units of affordable housing. And still, that would leave 148 acres of land of that Santa Monica airport property, 148 acres for a great park. I'd say that's a pretty great park, 148 acres. And building 3,000 units of affordable housing, that's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity here in Santa Monica. So we need to take advantage of that, because Santa Monica has been shirking its responsibilities in building affordable housing for generations, and now it's criminalizing homelessness all the time and making it harder for poor people to survive. That's why we all need to get behind the Great Park and Community Housing Initiative. Santa Monica is coming to Santa Monica this year. Oh, the Great Park and Community Housing Initiative is something everybody in Santa Monica should hear about. The Great Park and Community Housing Initiative is on the ballot this fall in Santa Monica. Oh, the Great Park and Community Housing Initiative should get a yes vote from us all in Santa Monica. You know, I'm still working on this new song, but it's a good start. It's a good start. You get the gist of it. So everybody vote for the Great Park and Community Housing Initiative in Santa Monica. That's right. We need to get behind that and build 3,000 units of affordable housing. That's a good step in the right direction, because we know that Santa Monica's been stepping in the wrong direction for generations. How you doing tonight? We've met before, haven't we?
No.
Wade,
I'm Mark.
Mark, nice to meet you, Mark. Where are you from?
I'm from Hollywood.
All right, wonderful. Is that where you're originally from?
I'm from Pocatello, Idaho.
Pocatello, Idaho. I was born. You were born in a trunk?
In the Princess Studio, Pocatello, Idaho.
Well, I'm glad you got out of the cold anyway, but it's a little chilly tonight here. But it's not bad, of course. It's never too bad out here. But Pocatello, Idaho, and Mark from Pocatello, Idaho, how long ago did you leave there?
I've lost in 94.
94? You came out here?
I came out to Hollywood in September of 2024. Yeah.
And what'd you come out here for?
Yeah, Hollywood, yeah. I busted out of a nursing camp. That's a nursing home. Busted out, went from Hollywood to West Hollywood, to Beverly Hills, to Westwood, to Brentwood, to San Juan.
You come here to get in the movies? You come here to get in the movies?
No.
No?
I got face for radio, I could sing, yeah.
You got a face for radio? Yeah. Oh, that's good. He's got a face for radio. That's a good face. Come on. That's another thing. You know, a lot of people come out here from all over the country because they want to get in showbiz. And you hear the governor's debate the other night, the governor race debate, the gubernatorial debate, as I like to call it. They were talking about we need to bolster Hollywood's ability to have more work. You know, there are people that have moved out here from all over the country who came to make it big in showbiz. And I was born out here, but I came back here for showbiz, and I did some. And, you know, there's a lot of people who barely make any money in showbiz. Most of the people who are in the showbiz out here barely make a living. Like around 5% of all the people in the Screen Actors Guild actually make enough to live on every year. The rest of them are getting government subsidies because they're just not making enough money. And we need to understand that. If you're going to have a place where a lot of people come, you're going to have to deal with a lot of people not reaching the pinnacle of success. And some people are going to end up living in the streets. And that's what happens. That's why you need to have affordable housing. That's why you need to have more places for people to just be able to survive and thrive and enjoy the weather out here. You know, if we really believe the climate scientists, they say that it's going to be getting hotter and hotter here in California. So we're going to need to build more housing right along the coast, because that's where it's going to be more cool, more temperate for human beings, and the air quality is going to be better as well, because we're right next to that great Pacific Ocean. And we got a lot of open land all along the coast, going all the way up north. Here in California, we have 800 miles of public beaches, and mostly rich white people living next to those public beaches. Why is that? We need to keep integrating. We need to keep building affordable housing and making it easier for human beings to survive, especially as we advance further and further into this technological era where more and more of the jobs will be done by artificial intelligence and robots. We got the rich people's toys making rich people money while the poor girls and boys live in the streets. It ain't funny how they're raising all the rents, and the governments are finding ways to funnel all the money to be spent on rich people's toys making rich people money while the poor girls and boys live in the streets. It ain't funny how they're raising all the rents, and the governments are finding ways to funnel all the money to be spent on rich people's toys. All the rich people's toys. That's right. All over this country tonight, we have warehouses and warehouses and warehouses filled with robots and computers and artificial intelligentsia of every sort, of every circuit possible. You know, they even have some warehouses filled with testing of human tissue to computer chips. Did you know about that? Yes, they've been experimenting for years, I guess, putting human brain cells and other things like that with computer chips. They say it takes less energy for those chips to run using the brain cells of human beings. I don't know how it works, you know, but they're experimenting with all sorts of different human tissue and computer chips. I sure hope our kids don't have to grow up to be farmed out for computer pieces, for computer parts. It's kind of like the Borg. It's kind of like the Borg in the Star Trek series. The Borg. I worked on Star Trek Deep Space Nine some, and they had all kinds of crazy things going on. But I sure hope we're going to stand up for the rights of human beings as we move further and further into this technological era, where more and more of everything will be done by robots. And we don't need the robots to make the movies and make the music and make the art. Human beings like doing those jobs. Let the robots clean the sewers, make sure they build the houses correctly. Listen, some people like working with their hands and building things. That's great. Let the robots help them as much as they want them to. But not everybody likes to clean the sewers. But we could have the robots doing jobs that human beings don't want to do. Let the robots do those jobs, and let the human beings make the art and the music and the movies. We don't need the robots to do those things. We got too many rich people's toys making rich people's money. That's right. They're making the rich people money. Let's try that again. Rich people's toys making rich people money while the poor girls and boys live in the streets. It ain't funny how they're raising all the rents, and the governments are finding ways to funnel all the money to be spent on rich people's toys, making rich people money while the poor girls and boys live in the streets. It ain't funny how they're raising all the rents, and the governments are finding ways to funnel all the money to be spent on rich people and rich people's toys. On the rich people and rich people's toys. They had some robots run in, I guess it was the Boston Marathon just recently. They had some robots run in the Boston Marathon, and they broke the record, broke the human record by a half hour. I guess they were pretty fast robot runners. You know, we don't really need robots who can run fast. I mean, we don't need them to run races. Human beings run the races because they enjoy running the races. We don't need robots to run those marathons. We need the robots to do the work that human beings don't want to do. Let them do the stuff that human beings detest doing. Let them count all the beans and make sure that everything is counted correctly. Make sure that make sure that the robots provide enough housing and food and health care for human beings. How about that? We give them that job and let the human beings do the art and do the music and make the movies and run the marathons. We don't need no robots to run our marathons. Rich people's toys making rich people money while the poor girls and boys live in the streets. It ain't funny how they're raising all the rents, and the governments are finding ways to funnel all the money to be spent on our rich people and rich people's toys. On the rich people and rich people's toys. On the rich people and rich people's toys. That's right. We need to stand up for human rights. Stand up for human beings. So let's keep speaking out. Let's keep getting involved. Let's keep telling our government, keep telling our leaders to stand up for human rights wherever they are, wherever you are. Don't be afraid to get out and speak up. And we need to work towards common sense gun laws. I hear was there another mass shooting today? There was another. We have a mass shooting every day in this country. And I know it's sad, and I know people don't want to hear anti-gun songs, but if people keep getting killed, we need to keep speaking out against it. I'm not trying to take the guns away from every human being in this country, but everybody knows we have a gun problem in this country, and that we need to have common sense gun laws, and they've done it before. That's why you don't see people running down the street with machine guns. They passed laws in the 1930s. They passed laws against missile launchers or grenade launchers, whatever, Gatling guns. You can't walk down the street with a Gatling gun. We need to make some common sense gun laws to make sure people aren't running down the streets with weapons of war. And we need to make it harder for those people who do have weapons to get those weapons. We need to make it harder for people with evil intent to be able to use weapons in this country. Have you killed a gun today? Have you sent a gun away? Have you helped to solve a crime before it's done? See, the gun won't even mind. It's not part of humankind. Everyone should kill a gun. Have you killed a gun today? Have you put a gun away? Have you ended it before its deadly run? See, the gun won't feel no pain. It doesn't even have a brain. Everyone should kill a gun. Everyone should kill a gun today. There's more guns than people in the US of A. Guns don't feel, they don't bleed, they don't cry. Everyone should kill a gun. Let's say no to the NRA. Tell those gun pimp boys take their killing toys and get the hell away. Let's say no to the NRA. Let's say no to the NRA. So everyone doesn't need a gun just to get through another day. Let's say no to the NRA. Everyone should kill a gun today. It really pisses off the NRA. Guns don't feel, they don't bleed, they don't cry. Everyone should kill a gun. Everyone should kill a gun today. There's more guns than people in the US of A. Guns don't feel, they don't laugh, they don't love. Everyone should kill a gun. That's right, let's speak out for common sense gun laws in the USA. Let's make a better day for everybody. Make it harder for somebody who would try to do evil with guns. Make it harder for them to get guns in the first place. Peace and love, that's right. Stand up for common sense gun laws. We can do better. Keep standing up for human rights. Amen. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. It's the only thing that there's just too little of. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. No, not just for some, but for everyone. We don't need another mountain. There are mountains and hillsides enough to climb. There are oceans and rivers enough to cross, enough to last till the end of time. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. It's the only thing that there's just too little of. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. No, not just for some. Oh, but, oh, oh, but just for everyone. Staring right at 2024 and staring right at 2026 AD, as if man's atrocities toward man had no history. But just a glance at 2026 BC, we see traces of man's inhumanity to man, it's no mystery. All for one, when far, there's no way we'll reach our greatest heights unless we heed the call. Me for you, you for me. There's no chance for world salvation unless conversation is peace. We can't stand, watch, and say, no, this can't be. When there's a plan by any means for the cleansing of one's ethnicity, we shouldn't act as though we neither hear nor see. Like the Holocaust of 6 million Jews, 150 million blacks during slavery. All for one for. There's no way we'll reach our greatest heights unless we hear the call. Me for you, you for me. There's no chance for world salvation unless conversation is peace. Whether publicly or privately convened, may love, positivity, and life's preservation be the basic theme. Should you give your trust to some prophet in life, giving trust but your faith must stay with the one who gave the ultimate sacrifice. All for one for. There's no way we'll reach our greatest heights unless we heed the call. Me for you, you for me. There's no chance for world salvation unless conversation is peace. Conversation, conversation, peace. Conversation, conversation, peace. Conversation, conversation. Well, I should start wrapping it up. Make it a little bit better as we go. Make it a little bit better. Never make it perfect, but make it a little bit better as we go. Make it a little bit better as we go. We'll make it a little bit better as we go. Make it a little bit better. Never make it perfect, but make it a little bit better as we go. Make it a little bit better as we go. Someone's always crying, there'll always be pain. Some need the sunshine and some need rain. The world keeps spinning, we can't slow it down, but we can help each other while it's turning around. And make it a little make it a little bit better. Never make it perfect, but make it a little bit better as we go. Make it a little bit better as we go. That's right, we gotta just keep working towards a better day. We haven't gotten there yet. We haven't gotten to equal rights, equal justice, equal opportunity for all. Got to keep working towards a better day. People have hard times. I have a friend of mine right now. A friend of mine, Bobby Flanagan, is in the hospital tonight in New York. And sending love to Lovey Buddy. And he liked this song. He likes this song. When there are gray skies, I don't mind the gray skies. You turn them blue, sunny boy. Friends may desert me. Let them all desert me. I'll still have you, sunny boy. You're sent from heaven, and I know your worth. You made a heaven for me right here on earth. When I'm old and gray, dear, don't stray away, dear. Your daddy loves you, sonny boy. You're sent from heaven, and I know your worth. You made a heaven for me right here on earth. Believe me.
Fly me to the... You have the perfect voice for it. Guys, real quick for my video. Fly me to the moon. Wait, let me get my video about that one.
Fly me to... Wait, let's get the right key.
You know what I'm talking about, Frank Sinatra, yeah.
Fly me to the moon and let me swing among the stars. Let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. In other words, hold my hand. In other words, darling, kiss me. Fill my heart with song and let me sing forevermore. You are all I long for, all I worship and adore. In other words, please be true. In other words, I love you. Let's go. Fly me to the moon and let me swing among the stars. Let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. In other words, hold my hand. In other words, darling, kiss me. Fill my heart with song and let me sing forevermore. You are all I long for, all I worship and adore. In other words, please be true. In other words, I love you. I was singing that song for my buddy Bobby, buddy Bobby. I got to go back to that. Let me just sing the last verse again. When there are gray skies, I don't mind the gray skies. You make them blue, sunny boy. Friends may desert me, let them all desert me. I'll still have you, sunny boy. You're sent from heaven, and I know your worth. You make a heaven for me right here on earth, believe me. When I'm old and gray, dear, don't stray away here. You know your little buddy loves you, sonny boy, Bobby boy. Okay, and I gotta play this, and I think I'll end with this. And we'll keep working towards a better day. We'll keep working towards equal rights, equal justice, equal opportunity for all. We haven't gotten there yet. We need to keep working towards a better day. Standing up for human rights, standing up for the rights of everybody to be able to have the basics in this richest, most powerful country in the world. Place to live, food to eat, health care, and a good public education. We can do great things in this country. They have been done before. We need to get behind the Billionaire Tax Act of 2026. Oh no, here comes the electric motorcycle gang. Oh please, electric motorcycle gang, please. Oh, peace and love. Oh, the Millionaire Tax Act of 2026, the Billionaire Tax Act of 2026, right here in California. The Billionaire Tax Act of 2026, right here in California. Oh, the Billionaire Tax Act of 2026, right here in California. Oh yeah, we need to get behind that. We need to have all of our leaders here in California get behind the Billionaire Tax Act of 2026 and raise taxes on these billionaires. Show that progressive government can make a difference in people's lives. And right here in Santa Monica, we need to. The Great Park and Community Housing Initiative is coming to Santa Monica this year. Oh, the Great Park and Community Housing Initiative is something that every Santa Monican should hear about. Oh, the Great Park and Community Housing Initiative is going to be on the ballot this fall in Santa Monica. The Great Park and Community Housing Initiative should get a yes from us all. Should get a yes vote from us all right here in Santa Monica, California. That's right, let's keep working towards a better day. And this is another song from my buddy Bobby, who's in the hospital. I hope you feel better. Let's keep working towards a better day, everybody. Moja droga, ja cię kocham, means that I love you so. Moja droga, ja cię kocham, more than you ever know. Kocham ciebie całym sercem, love you with all my heart. Return to me and always be my melody of love. All right, everybody sing. La 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 la. La my melody of love. Return to me and always be my melody of love. Peace and love. You want to say anything?